Terry, Nashville Fit Magazine. And today I am interviewing Dan. Dan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, brother. How are you, man?
I'm doing all right. I'm excited to get to know you. I know very little, so I'm gonna go real deep.
Do it.
Starting with, we just talked off camera, and you lived a little bit in Dayton, Ohio, which is actually where I'm from. So let's talk Dayton for a second.
All right.
Did you leave Ohio because of that's where dreams die?
No, I left Ohio when my mother and father split up when I was like 10, and so my mom married another guy in the military. She had something for guys in uniform, and we moved to Kansas from there.
Oh,
so
wow.
I bounced back and forth from Kansas to Ohio for a few years before she finally made it back home to Shreveport, Louisiana, where she's from.
Okay.
Or central Louisiana, really. But yeah, Shreveport, 99 is when I landed there. But my father is from Peebles, Ohio, so my entire father's side of the family is from that area, and I love Ohio.
That makes one of us.
Yeah, I grew up going to Kings Island and Reds games. You know?
Same here.
And
yeah,
fishing at on Brush Creek, and just like hoeing tobacco at my grandfather's farm.
No way.
In southern Ohio. Yeah, it was just a different world compared to Louisiana.
Yeah, I agree with that. So we'll end with Ohio talk here. You're from Ohio, Cincinnati Bengals or Browns?
Oh, neither, man. I was a Niners fan. My dad's a huge Bengals fan, though.
To me, that's better than saying Browns, so we're good. We can stay friends.
I'm a huge Joe Burrow fan, though.
There we go. I'll take that.
He went to LSU.
Yes, that's right. So,
at least for a year.
Tell me a little bit about where you get this, since you're not from the deep South. Where do you get this this deep country voice you got here?
I don't know, man. My dad was a singer in the military.
Okay.
And I kind of just grew up around him, doing it with him, and I don't know where the deep voice came from. It probably has something to do with smoking, and all the years I spent drinking a lot of whiskey and alcohol. But these days, it's kind of just what comes out.
Sure.
Probably because I got such a big mouth.
Speaking of music, you are working on music here in Nashville, yeah?
Always, yes, sir.
Tell me a little bit about your musical career. Where you'd like to go? What you know? When did you get your musical start? Maybe we'll go there first. When did you realize you had a voice? I guess
I realized I wanted to do it for a living. You know, I broke my right leg in 5 places my senior year playing football.
Oh well.
It was one of those things where my dad was always like, "What are you gonna do when you can't play football anymore?" And I was always like, "I'm just gonna play country music, like you, Dad." And,
there you go.
And he's always like, "Yeah, good luck." But I've always kind of just seen myself doing it. He would pull me up on stage at like a Grange Hall or a Masonic temple with thousands of people in the, crowd, sing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer when I was like 5 years old.
Is there video of that somewhere?
I doubt it, man. You know who might have? It would be in my grandparents' home that we sold. So wherever that stuff ended up.
Sounds super cute.
There might be a VHS.
VHS?
Yeah.
There you go. Put it in the old VCR.
Little Dan.
Little Dan.
Singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
That's awesome. Absolutely love it. So, 5 places, leg broken. Take me through. Are we singing at this point, or when did you start like thinking that you could make a career out of it?
So at that point, I was still hoping to go play college ball, and as soon as that happened, I pretty much just grabbed a guitar.
Yeah.
And I felt like a lot of my friends felt sorry for me, and they knew I sang a little bit, and they had this beauty pageant coming up, and they asked me if I would be in the beauty pageant. I was like, I do not want to be in the beauty pageant. They're like, no, we want you to be like the entertainment in between the beauty pageant, like while we're getting dressed in the bag and changing and stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, you want me to like sing a song or something in between it all? And they're like, yeah. I was like, okay, yeah, I can definitely commit to that. But I sang a Garth Brooks. I sang Shameless.
Oh, nice.
And got a standing ovation. And I hadn't looked back.
That's it. That
was it. I was like, oh, this is what I'm doing the rest of my life. Okay.
End of interview.
Yeah. No, it really was just that thing that I loved doing, and then as soon as my people validated me on stage, I was like, oh, this is it.
There's something about that.
Little did I know the hard work and the dedication that it actually takes to make it in this industry.
Oh yeah.
And that was 20 years ago. So
yeah, you've been doing it. You've been doing it pretty consistently ever since. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I took a little break when we started having babies. I focused a little bit more on, you know, helping.
Sure.
Because it takes a village. But as soon as my babies got big enough to start walking around on their own, and as soon as my wife and I realized where we didn't want to raise our children,
and we said that,
and maybe looking for a better opportunity somewhere else. When I started coming to Nashville, Tennessee, and started missing it when I would go back home, I was coming back and forth for almost 2 years, every other week, paying rent on a room with a little single mattress in it, and just writing songs and playing all the rounds and recording all the demos. This is without any kind of publishing deal. This is all for free. So
well, you're working it. Yeah, at that point, that's the guerrilla style right there.
Yeah, and as soon as she came with me one trip, it was our anniversary in 2017, and she kind of realized the investment I was making, and it wasn't necessarily an investment of money. It was more an investment of time that just happened to cost money.
Sure.
And as soon as she saw,
I have to break this story here, but I want to hear the rest of this. But
we don't want to lose our cameraman.
This is the first time we've had a dog on an interview.
That was a pretty good move.
About took out Christian on the camera.
Come on, man. But I finally got her to come up here and hang out.
Yeah.
And she just kind of saw how I was accepted, and how there was 1,000 other people trying to do exactly what I was doing.
Right.
And so when she saw that, she was like, let's go. We packed our stuff. We sold almost all of our furniture and moved into a little apartment in Murfreesboro, 2017. That was June. I signed my first pub deal in September.
Nice.
And I hadn't looked back, man. Signed a couple record deals, moved around in between publishing companies, had a relationship with a manager for a little while that ended up just not being the right relationship in the end.
That happens.
Yeah, it does. It sucks when it takes years to figure that out, but sometimes, you know, that's all part of it, is what I've come to find out, and I just keep my head down and keep doing exactly what I was doing when I got here, and that's just going that way.
Yep.
I have a vision. It's that way.
It's that way. It's over there. Speaking of that, we're at Radnor because you're one of the things that I like about interviewing artists is I love to find a crossover with where it is with fitness, where it is with health. So you said that you like to you like to come do hikes and you like to get out in the outdoors. What is it about the outdoors that helps you? Does it help you in writing? Does it help you like recenter yourself? Does it give you fresh vision for where you want to go with your career? The dog jumps in the water?
Man, I don't know if it's all that. I think it just helps humans, to be honest with you. I think it's good to be outside and get some fresh air. Luckily, we have places close to us where we can just sneak off and come to this paradise and walk around this beautiful lake that's still just untouched for years.
It really does feel odd that this is in Nashville.
Yeah, it's right in my backyard, so I'm just like, yeah, this is amazing. Compared to the city the other way. It's,
right.
Hillsborough gets busy.
Yeah, dude. You're not kidding. That's pretty crazy. So what do we have to look forward to from you? What's coming up? Is there something you want to plug?
Yeah, man, I have a record coming out May 10th.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, dude, self-produced. My buddy Jared Conrad and then my buddies. We toured around for a solid year, playing some cool country music, and I finally talked my team into letting me take them in the studio and kind of capturing what we were doing, and we did it in 2021. And then it took me a couple years to massage my way in and out of deals to actually get that music out, if that makes sense.
It oddly does. And I feel like you could. That's maybe a whole nother interview, but
Probably, yeah.
Because I'm a little familiar with this process, and I know how painful it can be. But on that note, as exciting as that is,
I'm so excited.
Yeah, what would you tell somebody who's out there, who's maybe doing what you were doing, splitting time between, you know, home and whether it's Ohio, Kentucky, or wherever in Nashville, trying to make it happen? Like, you got any word of advice for them?
I'll just keep doing it. It's much like any kind of routine you put in your life. You usually don't see results immediately. You have to continue to keep doing that thing and working it, whatever it is you're trying to work. And for me, it was songwriting, and I knew I needed great songs if I wanted to be any kind of musician or feel like any kind of songwriter or artist. And I didn't feel like I could do it by myself. And it's hard to find better songs than Nashville.
Sure.
This is one of the best places in the world to find musicians, find writers, producers, music people in the business. This is it. It's the Mecca, in my opinion.
It definitely is it.
Right now.
Yeah.
And so it just makes complete sense to just keep doing it, whatever it is you're doing, working out, playing music, learning how to play guitar, anything. Just keep doing it consistently, and you should start to see results if you're paying attention and really working hard at whatever it is. Consistency is the most important part, and commitment. Your level of commitment usually has everything to do with how far you go and what in anything you do. And I've been trying to talk my son into, like, he just started playing baseball. He loves it.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's catching on real quick, and it's beautiful and fun to watch him play. But I was trying to explain to him the level of dedication it takes to be like the player that you want to be, that you see on TV, that you like watch, and that you think you look like when you're out there balling, is an obsession. It's more than just being dedicated to something. You kind of have to obsess about these things. So.
Yeah, I think it's lost on a lot of people. Like, and what you just described are the building blocks for anything that you want to be successful in.
Straight up. Yeah.
Whether, you know, it does transcend music and go into sports, but on that level, that the amount of work that it takes, I feel like you got to be ready for that jump.
Yeah, man.
And a good support system. So you have your wife down here, you got your kids.
Oh man, yeah. They're the greatest.
Sounds like you guys have made something pretty cool on, you know, with your album too.
I can't wait for people to hear it.
Yeah, well, that's going to be below, so just click the link below. We'll make sure that we get everybody over there to
Thank you so much, man.
Anything you want to leave people with? One last thing, you know, maybe about the dog or Radner. I don't know. Anything?
You know, if you make it to Nashville, and you're looking for something just real peaceful to do, come to Radner. Just don't come on Wednesdays around 9:30. Those are my days, and
those are my days.
And this place is already busy enough, so.
That's right. That's right.
No, come see us. This place is beautiful. It's the reason I moved here. It's the reason I decided to raise my children here and my family. It's nice. A beautiful place.
Yeah,
it's just
100% agree with that.
And it's a lot cooler than Louisiana. Not just like cooler, but like physically cooler.
Like physically cooler.
Yeah, like I'm not sweating right now walking around.
Yeah, that 10 to 15% humidity difference matters.
It's insane, man. You walk out the door in Louisiana and you're just dripping sweat. Man. It's so humid.
Oh man,
it's like a jungle humid.
Well, I appreciate spending time with us today, and
absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, I loved getting to know you. Man, words. Nature does that to me. You know, I just get caught up in the beauty. Yeah, we look forward to seeing where your career will go. And,
thank you, man.
I wish you all the best.
I appreciate you.
Yeah,
thank you, for sure.